Hop Sing's going to feed us a chicken fried steak, some jalapeno gravy, some of Nanny's yeast rolls, and a cold cucumber salad. I will pour the iced tea. Let's get started. Neighbor, let's take a look at corn, beans, and wheat. Corn, firmer overnight, follow through on post-Thanksgiving trade Friday, which was aided by surging wheat markets. From a technical perspective, corn futures have a rising wedge pattern in place, which can resolve itself bearishly according to the textbooks. As we look at soybeans, after trading out of the gate Sunday evening, the soy complex has watched all three legs slip to losses early today. So far, soybean oil is leading the loss, taking its cues from palm oil, as it often does. As we look at weaker trade developing in the wheat markets overnight, Minneapolis and Kansas City losing while Chicago has finally relinquished its overnight gains. The day of back and fill trade is probably warranted following the impressive rally we saw on the shortened day on Friday, which saw many of the wheat contracts post double-digit gains. Neighbor, will check cotton after this. Neighbor, here's a quick reminder about the Lone Star Angus Alliance. December the 4th, 2020, bull and female sale happens at 1 p.m. there in Hallettsville. There'll be 30 yearling, 78 two-year-old, and 20 open commercial Brangus heifers. For more information, 361-798-6558. That's the Lone Star Angus Alliance bull and female sale in Hallettsville, December the 4th, 1 p.m. There'll be 30 yearling, 78 two-year-old, and 20 open commercial Brangus heifers. Call 361-798-6558. Call 361-798-6558. Neighbor, let's see what cotton's got to say today. The exchange reported only 8 deliveries Friday morning placed against the spot December contracts. USDA issued its export sales data Friday, delayed due to the observance of Thanksgiving. Those sales were much improved over last week's 131,000 bales. USDA's summary of Friday's report is as follows. Net sales of 354,700 running bales for the 2021 season. That was noticeably up from the previous week by 84% from the 4-week average. Increases include those from Vietnam at 169,005, Bangladesh at 89,400, Turkey at almost 30,000, China at 28,000 running bale. Of course, those figures were from the Friday report. Neighbor, as we look toward live cattle and feeder cattle and the fat cattle market, we see that cash cattle markets remain quiet early today, sideways trading, assessing the overall holiday movement. The underlying support in the cash market is seen ahead of the Thanksgiving Day break, may spark some additional movement through the first part of this week into December. Cash cattle prices last week were reported at mostly $1.11 on the hoof in the dirt, $1.74 dressed hot and hanging. Our bull and bear indicators today. On the bull side, cash cattle market gains last week will create expectations of firmer underlying support during the first week of December. Cattle feeders are expecting to evaluate early week asking prices in order to take advantage of the packers' need. On the bear side, choice beef cutout values posted the most aggressive loss in over a month Friday, thus creating underlying concern that the aggressive market run higher may be coming to an end after cutout values have rallied nearly $40 per hundredweight. Neighbor Hop Sing is about ready to service that chicken fried steak, jalapeno gravy, plenty of Nanny's yeast rolls, and a cold cucumber salad for lunch. I'm going to be pouring the iced tea because that's the hardest part of this whole shooting match. While you folks visit with my friend Ken Jordan. He's going to sell in Mason today, San Saba Thursday, and then a big special on Saturday. Ken, let's start with Mason.
You bet, Larry. We got good rains up here on Saturday and a little bit on Friday and kind of weather conditions down, so we're glad to have that at least. Got some north winds coming in right now. Got a real pretty hard freeze coming also, but we ended up with 1,100 and something head on the yards, about 120 cows, so kind of looking at that 1,300, maybe 1,400 head tomorrow, Larry, is what it's shaping up to be.
Good. What will San Saba look like Thursday?
We got a couple deals of calves I know coming in here that'll be there on Thursday. Looks like weather's going to cooperate pretty good on through that. Then also we're getting ready for that big female sale on Saturday. Got a little over 3,200 there coming in. And Larry, that's going to be a good group of cattle. About 400 pairs coming. Right at 1,000 bred cows I think is going to be there. 1,400 bred heifers we got consigned, and about 550 open heifers. A lot of quality, a lot of Brangus, F1, some Bremers that are there, Herefords, Angus Plus, on down the line. And some good beef masters off in Old Rhine will be there also, Larry.
Tell everybody how to contact you.
You bet. Give us a call. Area code 325-372-5159. And for that update information on that female sale, go to our website, jordancattle.com. We got everything listed up there. Quite a few videos and pictures too, Larry.
Good deal, Ken. Thank you, and we'll talk to you Monday evening after the Mason sale.
You bet, Larry. Thank you.
Neighbor, let's continue with the livestock market portion of our program. Let's head to the Texas Farm Bureau Radio News Desk in Waco. Tom Nicoletti has prime cuts.
Risk Management Tool. I'm Tom Nicoletti with Prime Cuts on Texas News and Views from the Texas Farm Bureau Radio Network. There is another option for cattle raisers looking to manage their risk. It's called the Livestock Risk Protection Program. TFB Network's Jessica Domel has more.
Conventional wisdom says that you get what you pay for, and conventional wisdom is right. You won't find Crystalix in the bargain aisle, but it will always get optimal performance out of your cattle. Whether you feed it in a steel or plastic barrel or our sustainable single-trip bio barrel, Crystalix is more than just a supplement. It's an investment. With Crystalix, performance is served. Visit Crystalix.com to find a dealer near you.
Our series on risk management opportunities for livestock producers concludes today with a look at the Livestock Risk Protection Program. Justin Benavidez, Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service economist, says LRP is different from crop insurance and that you can purchase it at any point throughout the year. In a recent webinar, Benavidez told the Texas and Southwestern Cattle Raisers Association that LRP mirrors the futures and options market.
It's designed to be available to a lot more people because that futures and options market, if you're looking at the feeder cattle contract, you're going to be hedging on 50,000 pounds. This allows you to set the weight so you can hedge a much smaller number of animals. And just because we have a smaller herd doesn't mean we shouldn't be participating in risk management.
LRP is designed to help insure producers against declining market prices.
If you see the price out in the futures market, let's say 6 months, and you think that that value is inflated, you think it's probably going to end up much lower than that, then this is the program for you. Because if you have an idea that that market is artificially high and you think it's going to go lower, this program allows you to set your price in advance, and you will receive an indemnity if the price goes below what you have paid to set.
LRP is available for fed cattle, swine, and dairy cattle. Benavidez says you can choose coverage prices based on the expected ending value.
You can choose coverage prices from 70 to 100% of that expected ending value. There's different endorsement lengths, so you can insure for as little as basically 3 months all the way out to a full year. And if that actual ending value that you've insured is below the price that you chose to cover, then you're going to receive an indemnity, essentially making up that price. So this tool allows you to set the price much like an options contract would.
Actual ending values are based on weighted average prices from the Chicago Mercantile Exchange Group. Benavidez said LRP is cheaper than the options market and is available for specific types of cattle. There are also more weight classes and adjustments for some breeds like Brahman.
It is subsidized by the federal government, so you're not paying the full cost of the contract. The federal government is picking up part of that tab, and it is typically cheaper. Now remember, we're not trying to hit a home run. We're trying to consistently perform 5% better year over year. And that gets us much closer to that 5%. If you're just floating with the market versus getting that $1.50, you're getting much closer to achieving a 5% better than average price, which is towards that goal of risk management and staying in operation long term.
Again, today's comments were from Justin Benavidez from the Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service. LRP insurance must be purchased through a livestock insurance agent. After your application is accepted, you can cover in 1 year up to 2,000 head of feeder cattle, 1,000 head at a time, that are expected to weigh up to 900 pounds at the end of the insurance period. Additional details on the program are available on the USDA Risk Management Agency's website.
There's no typical growing season. Each one brings different challenges. So what if this year we do something different? Like stepping up to Altura, a powerful at-planting technology from Nutrient Ag Solutions. Step up to extended nutrient efficiency and plant performance. Step up to better productivity and profitability in your fields. Take your fertility program to the next level with Altura, powered by C2 technology. Talk to your Nutrient Ag Solutions crop consultant or visit lpi.ag/stepup to learn more.
Texas Farm Bureau Insurance has protected fellow Texans with auto, home, health, and life insurance since 1952. With more than 260,000 square miles of land and 27 million people, that's a lot to cover. Whether you're wrangling cattle or wrangling kids, we're proud to protect Texans and all Texan ways of life.
Visit Texas Farm Bureau Insurance today at tfbinsurance.com to get insurance for Texans by Texans. Coverage and discounts are subject to qualifications and policy terms and may vary by situation.
Neighbor, when you hear cattle here in the alleyway, it's time to catch up with Leo Casas. Leo Casas, how are you this Monday, the last day of November 2020?
Doing good, Larry. Well, we had a heck of a rain Friday and Saturday, a little over 2 inches just about everywhere. Rain good up in the wheat country. That ought to spike this calf market. Looks like we'll be able to get some yearlings placed on some winter pasture with a little bit of luck. And with these mild temperatures, heck, I guess we'll start making some grass. So it was a very welcome rain. We've been in a pretty good dry spell. Larry, we've got a lot of good replacement cattle available for sale. Check our website. And the bull season is upon us. Don't wait too long. We've got plenty of good bulls available of all the popular breeds for lease or sale. I can be reached at 361-362-5863. Keep up with us on a daily basis on Instagram, Casas Cattle _Rancher3, or log on to my website for photos, videos, and information, CasasCattle.com, CASAS, CasasCattle.com. We're the bull people.
Thank you, Leo Casas. You know, neighbor, I've always been interested in archery ever since I saw Mingo on Daniel Boone when I was a little bitty boy in the early 60s. I've always enjoyed it so much that I used to place things into my bow bag so I would not forget where I put them. When we were getting ready to move off the farm, I knew that I did not want to lose my wedding ring in the hustle and bustle of the estate sale, so I put it back in the ring box that it was bought in, and I stuck it in my bow bag. Then I promptly forgot where I put it. And 3 years later, I had still not found it. Well, we're selling this home here on the coast to move up to the Ozarks. So I got to putting together stuff that I wanted to sell, and I said, no, I'm not going to sell my bow. But I remembered I hadn't opened up that bag, and I did, and there was my wedding ring in that box. I was so happy because I had not bought another wedding ring because I knew I'd find it someplace. And I did, but almost 4 years later. To make a long story short, I enjoy two things, the marriage of my wife and I, and archery. And guess what? Jessica Dommel's talking about archery on today's edition of Texas Wildlife Radio, and that was the most funny story that I knew of in regards to archery for an introduction. Jessica, what are we talking about in regards to archery today?
Faith-based archery instruction. I'm Jessica Domel with the Texas Wildlife Radio Show on the Texas Farm Bureau Radio Network. Today, we wrap up our series on the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department's archery programs. In addition to TPWD's community archery program, bow fishing, and bow hunting programs, the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department also offers an archery program for faith-based institutions and organizations. Rob Owen, TPWD's Outreach and Recruitment Manager, joins us again today to discuss the Center Shot Ministries program.
It essentially uses archery skills to connect audiences with messages. We host the training that helps these folks deliver the skills effectively or, safely with an audience.
TPWD's archery programs are based on a train-the-trainer model. They're designed to show teachers and leaders how to share their archery skills with beginners of all ages. The Center Shot Ministries program can be used by churches, youth groups, camps, and other organizations who want to tie a faith-based message with a physical activity for people of all ages. Owen says in some ways it is similar to the National Archery in the Schools program, or NASP.
Center Shot Ministries is not under the NASP umbrella, but they utilize instead the same training for their program hosts that NASP does. That means that Texas Parks and Wildlife is already hosting a training valuable to a Center Shot audience and Center Shot host.
Details about all of TPWD's archery programs are available on the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department website. Click on Education and then Archery. That website is tpwd.texas.gov.
Conventional wisdom says that you get what you pay for, and conventional wisdom is right. You won't find Crystalix in the bargain aisle, but it will always get optimal performance out of your cattle. Whether you feed it in a steel or plastic barrel or our sustainable single-trip bio barrel, Crystalix is more than just a supplement. It's an investment. With Crystalix, performance is served. Visit Crystalix.com to find a dealer near you.
There's no typical growing season. Each one brings different challenges. So what if this year we do something different? Like stepping up to Altura, a powerful at-planting technology from Nutrient Ag Solutions. Step up to extended nutrient efficiency and plant performance. Step up to better productivity and profitability in your fields. Take your fertility program to the next level with Altura, powered by C2 technology. Talk to your Nutrient Ag Solutions crop consultant or visit lpi.ag/stepup to learn more.
You have been listening to the Texas Wildlife Radio Show. For the Texas Farm Bureau Radio Network, I'm Jessica Domel.
Neighbor, let's update those commodities for you right quick. March corn, 430 3/4, down 3. Jan beans, 1177 1/4, down 14.5. March Kansas City hard red winter wheat, 549 3/4, down 15.5. March number 2 cotton, down 59 at 72.68. February live cattle down 30, 112.95. January feeder cattle down 35, 139.47. December U.S. dollar up 44 at 91.84. January West Texas Intermediate crude down 50 at 45.03. February gold down $5.50, $1,782.80 by the ounce. Neighbor, now let's open up the row crop segment of our program with a look at Focus on Ag from the Texas Farm Bureau Radio News Desk.
What will the crop mix look like in the Texas High Plains next year? I'm Kerry Martin with Focus on Agriculture on the Texas Farm Bureau Radio Network. What changes might we see in the crop mix in the Texas High Plains next year? James Hunt talks with 2 Texas A&M AgriLife agronomists who serve that region.
In recent months, we've certainly seen a tremendous strengthening of the grain markets, and agronomist Calvin Trossel believes that could influence how our region's farmers leverage their acres next season.
If those prices remain somewhat favorable, I think you will see some farmers in this region be willing to set a little more of their crop production over into either corn or sorghum.
Meanwhile, with the continuing decline of our region's principal irrigation source, the Ogallala Aquifer, Trossel's AgriLife colleague Jordan Bell says water consciousness is one reason some farmers are exploring less conventional crops like sesame.
I think as we move into 2021 and just even going forward, there's a lot of interest in alternatives. What can we do to make these traditional cropping systems more profitable?
Bell also sees the potential for other options like black-eyed peas, and both Trossel and Bell are interested in what lies ahead for hemp in the Texas High Plains. In Amarillo, James Hunt for the Texas Farm Bureau Radio Network.
There's no typical growing season. Each one brings different challenges. So what if this year we do something different? Like stepping up to Altura, a powerful at-planting technology from Nutrient Ag Solutions. Step up to extended nutrient efficiency and plant performance. Step up to better productivity and profitability in your fields. Take your fertility program to the next level with Altura, powered by C2 technology. Talk to your Nutrient Ag Solutions crop consultant or visit lpi.ag/stepup to learn more.
Conventional wisdom says that you get what you pay for, and conventional wisdom is right. You won't find Crystalix in the bargain aisle, but it will always get optimal performance out of your cattle. Whether you feed it in a steel or plastic barrel or our sustainable single-trip bio barrel, Crystalix is more than just a supplement. It's an investment. With Crystalix, performance is served. Visit Crystalix.com to find a dealer near you.
Corn and soybean prices have hit levels we haven't seen in quite a few years, with corn well over $4 and soybeans nearing $12. U.S. Agriculture Secretary Sonny Perdue says you can thank Chinese purchases for most of that market bounce.
The phase one deal with China obviously is ongoing. Will they meet those numbers this year or not? We don't know, but they're continuing to buy record numbers in corn, beans, pork, beef, poultry even.
Perdue says other trade deals like the U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement are also paying off for U.S. farmers. I'm Kerry Martin on the Texas Farm Bureau Radio Network.
Neighbor, let's take a look at milo exports for last week. 14 million bushels all to China. Currently on the books and unshipped 127.2 million bushels of U.S. milo, again for the crop year, virtually all to China and that unknown destination. The Corpus Christi Public Elevator and Archer Daniels Midland will be open this week in Corpus for Milo trucks from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Your grains now brought to you by John Tuggle, 800-288-4453. Here we go. Number 2 or better grain sorghum through Corpus in November. D's plus 220, 1153. We'll call Progresso 1050. Number 2 or better yellow corn through Corpus November, December delivery. December plus 45, 470 and a half. We'll call Progresso 885 by the hundredweight. Hard red winter wheat through Corpus in November. D's plus 75, 636 and half. We'll call Houston D's plus $1 bill 661 and a half. Number 1 beans through Houston November December delivery. January plus 10 1201 and 3/4. We'll call Placido January less 60 1131 and 3/4. Neighbor, we moved 4,862 bale of Texas cotton on Friday. Average price $69.09. That's it for your grains and cotton. I'm Larry Marble and you're my neighbor. Neighbor, go out and make it a grand Monday.